Here we are with another Friday morning live. April 11th, 2025, I believe. And we got some snow happening. Very lightly, but April snow. Hmm. Weather's cooler than usual. But we embrace and take everything that nature brings to us or somebody on a keyboard because we know that the weather has been manipulated for a long time. How's everybody doing? We have lots of crazy things happening around the world as usual. As this is the path mankind has chosen, and it's sad but true that we have and are continuously going on this path. Do we foresee changes? We can only hope and pray that these changes happen as quickly as possible. If anybody's out there, got any questions, now's a great time. We we've seen a strange pattern happening. You know, the last 35 years being involved in natural healing. And, 35 years ago, there was a very small amount of interest, and also probably because we didn't have computers, internet to connect to the world. That was a factor, but you know, there's always been people interested in health. Like, we have books that have been written, hundreds, thousands of years ago. So people have always had, there's some people who've always had that interest, but on a one-to-one basis, in families, friends, and so on and so forth, the interest was very low back in those days. And the motivating factor for me was I like to be feeling without pain, misery, and suffering versus being in pain, misery, and suffering. So, if going back in the memory, there was, always areas of stress in the kidney area, the lower back, growing up. And that was a motivating factor. And also being what we call sick all the time, lots of colds and flus yearly, a ongoing yearly event, sometimes a few times a year. And, all this gunk the body's trying to purge, and we think we were taught it was some microscopic bug, virus, or whatever that gave us all these problems, and if you really think about it, it's kind of ludicrous that we have fallen for this stuff. we it's pretty funny, and people actually still believe it, and hold on to these beliefs, and they will take these beliefs to their grave, and they will kill for these beliefs. We see that happening with recent lockdown scenarios 5 years ago. So, beliefs, once something is ingrained in our belief system, it's very, very difficult for anybody to want to change. And change is the only way we are going to be able to have change in our status of health. Without making any changes, nothing's going to really happen. Popping pills it's not making any changes. You're making negative changes, not anything positive. Number one, it's an addiction mentality, popping pills, that there's something missing, that this is going to fix the problem. And number two, it's toxic sludge, poison. It's not recognized by the physical, mental, emotional bodies or the soul. It's a synthetic substance created in laboratories, have no connection with nature. And, if we look around the planet today, we see that the planet pretty much completely is contaminated by these synthetic substances that don't break down very easily, or don't break down at all, and they continue to do their carnage, continuously killing, going through the cycles of life. It goes into the plant, and the animal eats the plant, or the fish eats the plant, and and then the next one eats it, and so on and so forth, and it gets concentrated into the top of the food chains. Mankind, because mankind eats anything and everything. You can go on every part of the planet, and you will find that mankind eats anything and everything that moves, crawls, swims, flies. There's somebody on the planet that eats these things. And, at one point somebody must have been hungry and starving and thought it was a good idea to indulge in eating any one of these things, whether it's insects and worms, or fish and birds, or bats, or rats, or snakes, or crocodile, or alligator, or you name it. Dogs, cats, lions, gorillas, you name it. It's people. There's people out there who eat this stuff, exotic wild game. There's places you can go and eat exotic wild game. As diabolical as it sounds, there's people doing it. Cheers, some grape juice. Never get tired of grape juice. Just a wonderful thing. So we have extremes in all things. You know, people will call master fasting extreme. Okay, and you know, what I call what they're doing is extreme, eating things that are not real foods, made by corporations, and then running to their hospitals, emergency centers, doctors, to be split open by a scalpel and be working, you know, while taking horrific synthetic substances, and that's not extreme. That is the norm. And then we go back to belief systems. We've been programmed to believe that that is the norm, and that eating fruit, taking some herbs, fasting is outrageously crazy. You know, why would you do that when there's an injection that you can take and will solve all your problems? And we swallow that all up, you know, take it in, swallow it up. Yeah, I'm going to go for that one. Why would I want to change my lifestyle? I want to continue eating all this wonderful high fat and, you know, so on and so forth, and everything else. High fat's the most addictive substance, I believe. I don't know what's more addictive than fat. You know, cheese is highly addictive, but it has fat in it, right? I think cheese is one of the most addictive substances. It's got fat in it. I don't know if there's anything more addictive than fat, honestly. Like, if you, especially, you know, when you've been around a lot of people fasting and you've done a lot of fasts yourself, the most thing that we crave would be the fat, anything with fat in it. Pay attention. Pay attention when you fast. Pay attention when you break your fast. Pay attention when you eat. You know, when you have your last meal, you know, let's say, you know, today, pay attention what you've eaten throughout the day. Pay attention. Keep that in your mind. See how you feel. Pay attention how you slept. Did you sleep sound all night without moving, without waking up, without, you know, without nervousness? Did you sleep sound? If not, there's something in the food there that didn't go well with you. Pay attention when you first open your eyes. Are you full of energy, ready to go? Or are you groggy, or is the body trying to purge mucus, eyes, ears, dandruff? Pay attention to all the things. How do your joints feel? Are you, you know, energy-wise, are you full of energy? Are you, you know, lethargic? These are simple things that you can pay attention to and learn of the foods that are not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. You know, people that are into carnivorous, you know, they get the night sweats. They call it the meat sweats. This is the body doing everything it can to protect itself, and it's trying to, you know, builds the body builds temperature when there's something within the body that needs to come out. This is not by chance. It's very high stimulating substance when we consume, flesh. Uh, so night sweats are not a positive effect. High fats. You'll have the stiffness, because the lymph system. Anytime there's any pain or stiffness, there's a problem, stagnation in the lymphatic system or the energy system. There's no energy going in the area. If there's no energy going in the area, they're going to feel pain in that area. It's going to get locked up. Simple things. Pay attention what you eat. Pay attention how you sleep. Pay attention how you wake up. And this, if we make this part of our lifestyle on a day-to-day basis, right, then we start to learn. And that's basically how Master Fast came to be. And, taking in information from many wise people out there, implementing the information, experimenting with the information, almost killing myself with the information, and Master Fast came to be. It's not like Master Fast was invented. Master Fast is a series of events and experiences that, accumulating all this wonderful information and putting it in a nice tidy protocol that is manageable by anybody, anywhere, anytime, if one has the will to move into peace, balance, correct conduct. If we are living as a butterfly, New Agers, that everything is love and light, let's send these people to the Middle East right now, and then let's see if they change their tune. Or in Congo, what's all the killing and tortures happening right now in all the world, and anywhere else it's happening. That's what I suggest. If those people believe in everything is love and light, we will send them. Of course they need to be willing to go. We're not going to force anybody, but if they truly believe that it's love and light, then they will go. Everything's love and light. If they, if there's hesitation, then they're making up stuff in their head, and they're just lying to themselves and everybody else. This is why the whole New Age movement. There's no good and there's no bad. It's it'll fall on its face very quickly when you present a situation of sending them off to killing and carnage and raping and pillaging and body parts being splattered, and you see how fast people change their tune. But this is a world of war pigs, evil psychopath war pigs, and to remain sane in this world, we must choose our paths. And there's no better path than peace, balance, and correct conduct. There's no better path that I can conceive. Divine peace, balance, and correct conduct. I have to throw in that word because everything is so corrupted. And languages are full of holes and infinite opinions on what it actually means. You know, the person, man, woman, or child writing has a concept that they're trying to convey, and then you have other people reading it, and they're getting different information than what the actual writer was trying to convey. And this is the problem. That's why languages exist, to confuse, corrupt, the way of communicating without words, telepathy. There's no misunderstanding. It's a knowing. We share the knowing telepathically, or however you want to call it. Through the fields, the information is exchanged, and there's a knowing of what we are conveying with each other. There's no misinterpretation like there is with languages. Just trying to interpret from one language to another, and so on and so forth. And you can have some challenges. As long as we can convey the message and get the message through so other people can benefit from that message, that's all really that it matters. Just like, master fasting, I'm not good at writing at all. My English is not great, even though that's my first language. Well, I don't know if I could say my first language. My first language is dialect Italian, basically growing up. But then, going out in the world, English had to be learned. So, it's probably my second language, but English, my writing skills have not been great. So, writing out the Master Fast started getting a gazillion questions, what I was actually trying to mean, and then make adjustments, and more questions, and make adjustments, and more questions, and make adjustments, and more questions, and so on and so forth, until the lovely Rana decided that she was going to take on the task and write it out, and to try and convey the message of what I was actually saying. And she did a wonderful job, and that's what the protocol is now. And there's still a few questions here and there, but nowhere near like when we started 10 plus years ago. I would spend 18 hours a day answering questions. It was quite an ordeal for many, many, many months. Like, it went on for a couple of years. So this is where we are at now with master fasting. There's how much more will we learn? Time will tell. We've seen quite a bit. We don't know it all. We've seen so much wonderful, amazing things, and system works for people who work it. The dialogue of mankind is continuously searching for the magic pill, even though the answers are in the mirror. And it's just there's not enough motivation to make a change. So people are continuously searching and searching and searching for that magic pill, because just too lazy to make any changes in their lifestyle, or whatever reason. There's emotions are always at play there, and we know what emotions do. Volition and emotion is the seed of all creation, and we can move mountains with volition and emotion. We can literally move mountains. We can fly. We can dance, we can sing, we can do whatever we want, as long as we have it coming from our heart and soul. All is possible. And with that said, I'm jumping from one thing to another, but everything is energy, and we cannot escape the laws of cause and effect. Those laws are at play always and always will be, no escaping. And if we live in divine peace, balance, correct conduct, we will have nothing to worry about as we move into the realm of no physicality. When that time comes, we will be ready. So, I will bid everybody a farewell for now, and we will send Plaf to all the people in dire needs out there. It's been horrific. Several, what is it, 18 months or so, and actually the last 5 years since the lockdowns have been crazy things have been going on. Let's pray and hope and that mankind chooses the path of divine peace, balance, correct conduct. Plaf, everybody. See you back on the page. See you back on Wednesday, Facebook Live, next call. And live it, love it, the art of subtraction. Ciao.